Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. And another top 7 wrestling moments. This is top 7 tag teams of all time. Would probably be my top 7 favorite tag teams or tag teams that I enjoyed watching. Not necessarily the best in the business at their time, but just ones that I really enjoyed, was fun of watching. Number 7 was a 2-time WCW Tag Team Champion. They were a 1-time NWA Tag Team Champion. We're talking about the team of the Icon Sting and Lex Luger. Was it late 90s, 96, 97, 98, in that era where WCW was winning the Monday Night Wars, and you had, the Icon Sting, the franchise of WCW, team up with his best friend Lex Luger. It was always where Sting was the face with Hogan and Savage, but yet Luger was kind of the outsider with that, kind of the heel. He would do heel things to win matches, and he would, do stuff to piss off Hogan, and Sting was always trying to play peacemaker and stuff. But being best friends, they had great chemistry as a tag team. One of my favorite tag teams, obviously being a big Sting fan. Number 6 on my list is a 7-time 7-time Ring of Honor. They were champions in Ring of Honor, Chikarda, CZW. I'm talking about the Kings of Wrestling. 2 of the greatest wrestlers ever, Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli. Just these guys, the chemistry they had, they held the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships for a year. I mean, just night in, night out, going out there, 2 of the best performers in wrestling as a tag team, and just everything. Chris Hero, if he's not, on people's top 5 list, top 7 list, whatever, of best wrestlers in the business, I don't know where he'd be, because he's that good. If you've never seen Chris Hero, if you've never seen the Kings of Wrestling as a tag team, get on YouTube, look it up. Just stuff from Ring of Honor, stuff from, like I said, Chikarda, PWG, CZW. Just these guys were just amazing chemistry and just an amazing tag team with their ability. Number 5 on my list is a 16-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. And one member of this is a 2-time and current Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. I am talking about the one and the only, Mark and Jay Briscoe. The greatest tag team in Ring of Honor history. One of the greatest tag teams in the history of professional wrestling, bar none. If you've ever seen these guys, you know what they're about. Just this, kid just can't stand, redneck, toothless, cutting a promo, looks like some hick in the back feet, from the back 40, but yet they can wrestle as good as, if not better than anybody else in the business. They brought, Ring of Honor Tag Team Wrestling that was, the Briscoes. Wrestling against the Kings of Wrestling, who, like I said, held the titles for a year. Wrestling against the American Wolves. Wrestling against the Hardys at some point. Wrestling against Generation Me, the Young Bucks. Every tag team you can throw at the Briscoes worldwide, they were able to defeat and, be able to hold the tag team that long and be able to wrestle singles wrestling. Mark Briscoe has been on the indie circuit, been a world champion. Like I said, Jay Briscoe is a 2-time Ring of Honor champion. Only 2 people have ever been 2-time Ring of Honor champions. Number 4 on my list, we're going way back to the 90s. We're going back to WCW. We're at a 10-time WCW Tag Team Champions. A current WWE Hall of Famer. A 5-time WCW Television Champion. Yes, I am talking about Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray. Back in the mid-90s, when I started watching WCW, they were the tag team to beat. The Nasty Boys were there, Public Enemy was there, the Steiners, the Road Warriors. All these tag teams were there, but yet the Harlem Heat were just a step above. They had we all know how good Booker T is singly. Put him with, Stevie Ray, muscle guy, just the muscle of the group, and just watching these guys able to, what they could do for the tag team division, how good the tag team division was in the 90s compared to now. It is sad what the current state of tag team wrestling is in wrestling. Looking back and seeing some of these tag teams, it's like, oh my God, we need tag teams like that today. Number 3 on my list, the TNA tag team. A 6-time TNA NWA tag team champions. The one, the only. James Storm, Cowboy James Storm, and the Wildcat Chris Harris. America's Most Wanted. One of the elite tag teams from the startup of TNA. As we all know, this team has disbanded. James Storm has created another team with Beer Money and Robert Roode. James Storm went on now to be a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He's been on to, he's part of the Tag Team Champions with Abyss currently. So James Storm be able to have multiple tag teams, the America's Most Wanted, Beer Money, and now with Abyss being a multiple-time tag team champion, a former world champion. Unfortunately, the Wildcat Chris Harris was never able to rekindle the success he had with America's Most Wanted. Number 2 on my list, a 10-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the 2-time WWE World Champion was also a 2-time TNA World Champion. They held the tag title 7 times. I'm talking about the group of Edge and Christian. Yes, the Rated R Superstar Edge and Captain Charisma Christian, best friends since high school, 2 of the most talented wrestlers in WWE all time. Christian left WWE while Edge is becoming a 10-time champion, went on the TNA and ran TNA. They've had their, bouts together versus each other as a tag team, friends since high school. They broke into the business together. 2 guys that wrestling is their life. Unfortunately, as we all know, Edge had to retire because of neck injury. WWE Hall of Famer now. We found out recently on Raw that Christian retired from concussions and numerous injuries. It's a shame to see 2 guys with so much talent and so much they can bring to the wrestling business have to retire due to injuries. But you know what? The career that they had, Christian should go in the Hall of Fame hopefully soon, so they'll both be Hall of Famers. 2 of my favorite wrestlers ever, Edge and Christian. Let's get a 5-second pose for those of you with flash photography. Alright. Number 1 on my list. The greatest tag team, tag title-wise, award-wise, ever in the history of wrestling. 23-time tag team champions. They won tag team championships from WWE to the WWF, ECW, TNA, New Japan, world renowned. I'm talking about the team of Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley. The Dudley Boys are also known as Team 3D. What they were able to do in a wrestling ring in the tag division was unheard of. You have these 2 guys, for the vast majority of their career, except toward the end, were tag team. Yes, Bully Ray was a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Devon became a TNA TV Champion. But they're known for their all their tag titles. From TLC matches to all the tables, the hardcore in ECW, the Ultimate X in TNA. Yes, they had to use the ladder in the Ultimate X, but they were able to do it. Along with Edge and Christian and the Hardys, the Dudleys took a TLC match and just brought it to the forefront and what it can capable of doing. TLC 1, TLC 2, and every other TLC match, ladder war, any kind of match that these guys have had. We all know the Dudleys are known for bringing out the tables in Dudleyville. And just, Paul Heyman got these tag team in ECW, and they just exploded on the wrestling scene. That will wrap up my top 7 tag teams. Stay tuned for other top 7 videos and then the Royal Rumble preview. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show and have a spiffy night.